4 states won by President Obama: New Mexico, Ohio, Washington, and Wisconsin. When President Obama first took office, Republicans controlled just 16 state House of Representatives and 20 state Senate chambers. Today, they control 28 and 29, respectively, and they hold veto-proof majorities in 16 states, a gain of 3 during the 2012 election that sent Obama back to the White House. 4 years ago, Republicans controlled both the legislature and governor's mansions in just 8 states. Today, the number is 23, and nearly half our citizens live in states where both the legislature and the governorship are in Republican hands. Does this sound like the record of a party that is out of touch with the priorities of the American people? So the question is, why are so many Republican governors and state legislators winning elections at a time when national Republicans are faring so poorly? The answer, in part, is that while Washington remains locked in the endless battles that most Americans don't see as having much impact on their daily lives, Republican leaders at the state level are offering big, bold, positive reforms that are relevant to the lives of our citizens. In Washington, politicians fight over fiscal cliffs, debt limits, and sequesters. In the states, we are focused on improving education, caring for the poor, reforming government, lowering taxes, fixing entitlements, reducing dependency, and creating jobs and opportunity for the unemployed. Just look at what some of our nation's Republican reformers have accomplished at the state level. In Indiana, Governor Mitch Daniels inherited a 2-year deficit of $800 million and left Indiana with a $500 million annual surplus and $2 billion in reserves without raising taxes. He ended collective bargaining for state employees, privatized Indiana's toll roads, and created the largest school choice program for low-income students in the country. In Louisiana, Governor Bobby Jindal took on the state's long history of corruption and enacted comprehensive ethics reform that restored integrity to state government, while at the same time closing a $341 million budget shortfall and giving $1.1 billion back to the hardworking taxpayers across his state over 5 years. In New Jersey, Governor Chris Christie enacted a 2% cap on property taxes, passed public employee pension and health benefit reforms that will save taxpayers more than $130 billion over the next 30 years, balanced 4 budgets without raising taxes, and gave taxpayers $2.35 billion in job-creating tax cuts. In New Mexico, Susana Martinez became the first Latina governor in United States history and turned a $450 million budget deficit into a $200 million surplus. In Michigan, Governor Rick Snyder closed a $1.5 billion deficit while lowering personal income taxes and eliminating the state's job-killing business tax. In Idaho, Governor Butch Otter passed legislation in 2011 that restricts collective bargaining for Idaho schools, institutes merit pay, and eliminates teacher tenure. And there are countless other examples. Here in Wisconsin, we're doing our part as well. When I took office in January 2011, our state faced a massive $3.6 billion budget deficit and a stark choice. We could raise taxes or lay off more than 10,000 middle-class government workers to close the gap. Or we could reform the corrupt system of political cronyism and collective bargaining, in which union bosses collected involuntary dues from every government employee and had effective veto power over any changes to their pay, benefits, or working conditions. That was driving our state into fiscal ruin. We chose reform. The state legislature passed my budget repair bill, known as Act 10, that requires public workers to contribute 5.8% of their salaries to their pensions, up from 0 for most, and to pay 12.6% of their health insurance premiums, up from about 6%. We ended collective bargaining for everything except base wages. We ended compulsory union membership and stopped the forced collection of union dues, allowing teachers and other public workers to choose for the first time whether they wanted to join the union and pay dues. And we freed school districts from the stranglehold of collective bargaining rules, allowing them, for example, to buy health insurance on the open market and hire and fire teachers based on merit for the first time. Today, thanks to these reforms, the $3.6 billion deficit we inherited has turned into more than a $500 million surplus. School districts across Wisconsin have saved tens of millions of dollars, money they have used